What's a harmless lie your parents told you that low-key messed you up? When I was 5, my dad started this thing where he'd slip a penny into my shoe before anything important. First day of kindergarten, school plays, soccer games, didn't matter what it was. "This penny will keep you safe, buddy," he'd say with this big smile. And I believed him completely. Like, this wasn't just some random coin to me. It was basically my superhero power. At first it was kinda cute, right? I'd walk around feeling invincible because I had my magic penny. When other kids were nervous about stuff, I'd be totally chill because I knew nothing bad could happen to me. My parents thought it was adorable how confident I got with that stupid piece of metal in my shoe. But then it started getting weird. By second grade, my mom would remind me every morning, "Don't forget to check for your penny before school." If I couldn't find it, she'd help me look until we did. They made it seem like forgetting it was this terrible thing that would ruin my whole day. The first time I really panicked was in 4th grade. I was getting ready for this spelling bee I'd been practicing for weeks. I put on my shoes and couldn't feel the penny. I completely lost it. Started crying, dumping out my backpack, looking everywhere. My dad found it under my dresser and was like, "See? Good thing we found it or you might have spelled everything wrong." He was joking, but I wasn't laughing. Middle school was when it got really bad. I'd literally skip tests if I forgot the penny at home. Like, I'd fake being sick rather than take a math test without it. My teachers probably thought I had anxiety issues, which I guess I did, but not the normal kind. The worst was this camping trip in 7th grade. We were hiking by this river, and I felt the penny slip out of my shoe and heard it plop into the water. I had a complete meltdown, started crying and hyperventilating, telling everyone we had to find it. The other kids thought I was insane. I refused to keep hiking and made my group leader call my parents to pick me up early. Even in high school, I couldn't shake it. When I turned 16 and had to take my driving test, my dad laughed and said, "Don't forget the penny or you'll definitely fail." I didn't think it was funny at all. I sat in that DMV parking lot literally shaking, convinced I was gonna crash the car if I didn't have my lucky penny. By senior year, I was carrying backup pennies in my wallet, my backpack, everywhere. My friends thought I was just superstitious, but it was way beyond that. I'd have panic attacks if I realized I forgot it. During prom, I spent 20 minutes in the bathroom checking my shoe every few seconds to make sure it was still there. College was supposed to be a fresh start, but the penny thing followed me. First semester, I was late to this huge chemistry exam because I drove all the way back to my dorm to look for my penny. I was literally crawling around on the floor, checking under my bed while my roommate watched like I'd lost my mind. That's when he asked me what the hell I was doing. So I told him the whole story about how my parents gave me this lucky penny when I was little, how I couldn't do anything important without it, and hearing myself say it out loud, I realized how completely ridiculous it sounded. "Dude," my roommate said, "it's just a penny. Like, you know that, right?" And the crazy part was, logically, I did know that. But emotionally, I was still that scared little kid who thought bad things would happen without his magic coin. I started researching it online and found out this had a name. It was like a superstitious compulsion or something. Reading about other people with similar issues made me realize my parents had accidentally created this monster in my head. When I went home for Thanksgiving, I finally brought it up. My dad just laughed and was like, "Oh, that old thing? We just made that up to give you confidence, kiddo. Figured if you believed you had something special, you'd do better." I wasn't laughing. I told them about missing school trips, bombing tests, skipping my driving test twice, all because of their harmless little lie. My mom's face went completely white. She had no idea it had gotten that bad. "We thought you'd outgrow it," she said quietly. But I was 19 years old and still checking my shoe for a penny before job interviews. The hardest part was breaking the habit. I had to force myself to leave my dorm without checking for the penny.